Hi guys, I'm Ricky Ontiveros and I am a loan specialist, and today I'm here with
Alexandra Rodriguez from IR Business. I'm a tax and business strategist, and we're going to be talking about
SBA loans, guys. So all the questions that you may have regarding SBA loans, we will be covering today, so stay tuned. Hey, so Alex, recently the government actually passed this $2.2 trillion economic stimulus plan. Could you just explain to the people what really that means to everyone?
yes. Basically, the government gave a boost into the economy knowing that all business stopped, right? And we want to take advantage of the small businesses right now because not all the 2.2 trillion is going to be going to the businesses. I mean, we have airlines, we have carriers, and well, none of us are really attached to that type of business. But let's talk about two of them that do affect us from that 2.2 trillion, which is the SBA loans.
Oh, that's right. And I've been hearing so much about these SBA loans, and it's constant questions. We even have covered it recently, but a lot of questions still keep coming in. What we are getting asked from the people is what type of loans are offered by the SBA?
We have two loans right now. We have the SBA, which is the PPP, which is the Paycheck Protection Program. And then we have the second one, it's called Economic Injury Disaster Loan. It's the SBA 7B. And we want to take advantage of both of them. So both of them actually are pretty different and similar in some ways.
Okay, so could you elaborate so that people could understand what the EIDL covers?
The EIDL is a application for small businesses that basically lost revenue for not being in business or their business actually dropped. So when you apply, they're going to be asking about your gross, they're going to be asking about your cost of goods sold and your operating expenses, basically for what they were for the 2 months that we got affected. Hopefully it is 2 months.
Right.
And when you apply, actually you first go to the SBA.gov and you initially petition to apply. Then you wait about 3 weeks, you have an agent contact you, and they now get a package so you can apply for this EIDL. As soon as the application is ready to be submitted, within 3 days, they say you could get an advance up to 10,000, but it's not really everyone's getting 10,000.
Right, and could you explain who would be eligible for this EIDL loan program?
Pretty much everybody that has a small business, self-employed, corporations, LLCs, even rental owners. If you're a landlord and the people stopped, your renters stopped paying you money, you are eligible to apply for this EIDL stimulus and see how much. They will basically tell you how much you qualify for, and it is a loan. Now, like I said, once you apply and they give you up to 10,000, not everyone's going to get the 10,000 based on they were saying how many employees you have. But if you're self-employed, minimum you'll be getting 1,000. And if you don't qualify, guess what? You get to keep it for free. The EIDL has a grant option that if you apply and you don't qualify, it becomes a grant. Basically, you can keep the money and you don't have to pay it back. But if you do get a loan, unfortunately, you do have to pay it back. It is a loan. The good thing about the loan is that you will have 1 year to not make any payments. You can defer the payments for up to 1 year. And the interest rate is pretty low. It's 3.75, kind of like if you buy a mortgage.
Wow, yeah, that's absolutely right. That's really low interest rates, guys. And honestly, like what I'm hearing you say is if you don't qualify, you could get up to the 10,000 as a free forgivable grant. But if you do qualify, you will get up to 10,000 as a loan or more, depending on your situation. So with people qualifying, let's go into this PPP program. I know other people want to know what is the PPP program and what does it cover?
The PPP is basically a paycheck protection program. It's just exactly what the name says. If you run payroll, you're a company or corporation or self-employed, and you run payroll, or you're self-employed and people 1099'd you, ever since April 10th you can qualify now. But the people 1099'd you, you can apply for this loan and say, hey, these 2 months I lost this much wages. we're gonna run about this much in payroll, and I didn't. And all these people were laid off, or I had to lay myself off, and I'd like to get this loan so that I can then replace it with wages. And guess what? If you actually do get this loan and you spend it on payroll, rent, and utilities, then you can apply for it to be forgivable. So
Got
it's the PPP is a forgivable loan. You could elect to not have to pay it back only if you pay into payroll, utilities, and rent.
Hey Alex, so I'm getting this question a lot and people are asking, why should I go with IR Business instead of doing it myself?
Well, that's a great question. The government out there is right now saying it's very easy for you to go online, submit your application, and you're done. Actually, it really isn't. There's two applications. There's a PPP that you cannot do it online. You have to go through a credible bank or a credit union. And the second one, if you do it online, you're going to have to answer questions that have to do with financials and payroll. And unless you actually know what financials to say, what payrolls, what documents to turn in, for instance, your operating expenses, your cost of goods sold, your gross income for the last 12 months, and it's not going to be January to December. It's actually February to February. And when you're doing all these documents and you don't specialize in financials, you can potentially not only just hinder the amount that you can qualify for, which you can they can give you a lot less, or even, which would be worse, not even qualify or be eligible for the loan, and they can actually turn you down. So some people say, well, I'm going to save money. I'm not going to hire someone to do it for me. And it's fine. We completely understand. But when you do hire a professional, just know that these professionals have been dealing with the SBA for so many years. Personally, my business, we've pulled over $750,000 in all our years of being in business from the SBA, and which is why we have grown. These loans have very low interest, and you want to take advantage of them.
So Alex, tell me, we've been talking about this SBA, but people have a confusion on what is really the differences between the EIDL and the PPP program.
Well, there's a lot of differences, but I'm only going to talk about a few. The EIDL is a loan that you can get because of the losses of your business. And you can, when you apply, you can get an advance up to $10,000, and if you don't qualify, that advance will become a grant. You don't have to pay back. But if you do qualify, it will turn into a loan. It is not forgivable. The PPP is exactly the Paycheck Protection Program, which protects the wages of a self-employed or the payroll of the employees in a company. So those who apply for that are strictly just talking about the losses in wages. And that one can be a forgivable loan if you show that the money that you do get, it will go to payroll, rent, mortgage, and utilities. And also, I actually have a SBA comparison document that we typed up, and we made it very simple. So you guys contact us and request the SBA comparison document. We will be happy to send it to you and email it to them so they can find out what the exact differences are, even with interest rates.
Hey, that's really great information, guys. There's various resources available. Alex has already taken the time, her team have put together a great comparison. And if you guys are looking to get that, make sure you guys reach out on the information below and you could receive that via email.
Thank you, Ricky. And you know, since you're such a loan specialist, I mean, you've helped people get so many loans throughout your career, you know that it's not an easy process. So if they ever get a professional, or they hire someone, they consult someone, it goes a lot smoother, a lot better, and the chances of qualifying and getting the maximum amount become higher.
Absolutely, Alex, just to add point to that, you guys want to make sure you're working with the right people, work with people that know what they're doing. It'll make your life a whole lot easier, and guess what? That's what we're here for, to help you and get you qualified.